Hello, hello everyone. Welcome you all in the second lecture of thermodynamic and kinetic requirements of organic reaction, or we can say any reaction. See, in this lecture we will continue to the last lecture. What we have seen in the last lecture, that we will continue here. See, in this lecture we are going to continue with thermodynamics of a reaction. The relative concentration of a product and reactant at equilibrium depends on their relative stabilities. The more stable the compound, the greater is its concentration at equilibrium. The more stable the compound, the greater is its concentration at equilibrium. That means suppose product is more stable, then its concentration at equilibrium will be more. If suppose reactant is more stable, then concentration of reactant at equilibrium will be more, like that. Thus, if products are more stable, have lower free energy than the reactants, then there will be a higher concentration of products than reactant in equilibrium, and it will be greater than 1, isn't it? On the other hand, we can say if the reactants are more stable than the product, there will be a higher concentration of reactant than product at equilibrium, and it will be less than 1. See here, this is a reaction coordinate diagram. We can say, see, this is what the free energy axis and this is what the progress of reaction axis. Okay, so reactants are having this much energy here, okay, and products are having this much energy here. Okay, so product is more stable. Okay, after a reaction we have plotted this curve, okay, and we come to know that reactants is having this much energy and product is having this much energy. Okay, so product is stable, okay, product is stable than reactant by this much amount of energy, and that energy is called minus delta G. Okay, that energy is called minus delta G. Okay, so for exergonic reaction, this is what a exergonic reaction, delta G is negative. For exergonic reaction, delta G is what? Negative. And for this reaction, K equilibrium constant, that is equilibrium constant, is greater than 1. Okay, when product is more stable, for that reaction equilibrium constant is greater than 1. Okay, now see another case where reactants is having this much energy, that are more stable than product, okay, and products are having higher energy than reactants, okay, and reactants are having lower energy than product. Here products are having higher energy. So here this is what? Positive delta G. Okay, here this is what? A positive delta G. So here this is what? A endergonic reaction. This is what? A endergonic reaction. Here delta G is positive, K equilibrium is less than 1, that is equilibrium constant is less than 1. Okay, so we can say that delta G, okay, delta G, that is keeps free energy here. This is equal to what? Free energy of products minus free energy of reactant. Okay, so this delta G 0, okay, gives free energy is what is this? It is what? Free energy of products. Okay, free energy of products minus free energy of reactant. Okay, so this is what the delta G term. Okay, delta G term, this gives free energy term is involve what? Free energy of products minus free energy of reactant. See, in the continuation of last slide, here we are going to see from this equation delta G is equal to delta G 0 is equal to free energy of products minus free energy of reactant. Okay, so this is what it gives free energy of product minus free energy of reactant. From this equation, we can say that delta G will be negative. Delta G will be negative if products have lower energy. Okay, if products are having lower energy, see this first curve. Okay, if products are having lower energy, then delta G will be what? Negative. And if and that are what? More stable. Okay, products are what? More stable than the reactant, then delta G will be what? Negative. In other words, the reaction will release more energy than it will consume. Okay, so in other words, we can say that reaction will release more energy than it will consume. Okay, at the time of progress of reaction, okay, two reactants or more than two reactions, they will what, react with each other, okay, and there will be what, consumption of energy at the time of reaction, okay. When product will form, then there will be what, release of more energy than the energy consumption of reactant. So this is what a your exergonic reaction, this is what a your exergonic reaction, okay. So it is what, exergonic reaction, where in exergonic reaction product are more stable, delta G is negative, isn't it, and there will be what, more release of energy than it will be consumed at the time of formation of product. Now see, if the products have higher free energy, see curve B, okay, this curve B, okay, or second curve, if products are having higher free energy, are less stable, these are what, less stable product, because products are having higher free energy than what, reactant, are less stable than reactants, delta G will be positive, here delta G is what, positive, and the reaction will consume more energy than it will release, okay. Reaction here in this case, reaction will consume more energy than it will release, and it will be a what, endergonic reaction, this will be a what, endergonic reaction. So free energy of reaction is equal to what, free energy of product minus free energy of reactants. See, in the continuation of last slide, we can say that delta G, that is Gibbs free energy, is equal to what? Free energy of products minus free energy of reactant. So we can say the Gibbs standard free energy change, that is delta G, has an enthalpy delta H component and an entropy delta S component. So delta G 0 is equal to delta H minus T delta S. Okay, delta G 0 is equal to what? Delta H 0 minus T delta S 0. The enthalpy delta H term is heat given off. The enthalpy delta H is what? Heat given off or heat consumed during the course of reaction. The delta H term is what? Heat given off or heat consumed during the course of reaction. Atoms are held together by bonds. Atoms are held together by bonds. So heat is given off when bonds are formed. Okay, when bonds are formed, at that time heat is what? Given off, and heat is consumed when bonds are broken. Okay, when these bonds are broken, at that time what? Heat is consumed. So delta H is a measure of, okay, that is enthalpy is a measure of bond making or a bond breaking process. Okay, enthalpy is a measure of what? Bond making or a bond breaking process that occur as reactants converted into products. Okay, that occur as reactants converted into what? Product. So see, delta H0, that is enthalpy of a reaction, is equal to energy of the bonds being broken. Okay, energy of the bonds being broken minus energy of the bonds being formed. Okay, so we can say delta H0 is equal to what? Energy of bonds being broken minus the energy of the bond being formed. So when we will have this delta HC for any reaction, that in a reaction, suppose reactant should get converted into product, we should have minus delta G, we should have this minus delta G term. Okay, so for minus delta G term, we want minus delta H. Okay, when there will be what? Minus delta H term, isn't it? So that means this delta H value should be lower than this T delta S value, then we will be what? Minus delta G. Okay, so delta H is a measure of bond making or a bond breaking process that occur as reactants as converted into what? Products. Okay, so delta H is equal to, that is enthalpy is equal to what? Energy of the bonds being broken. Energy of the bonds being broken minus energy of the bonds being formed. Okay, let us see in the next slide. See, if the bonds that are formed in the reaction, if the bonds that are formed in the reaction are stronger, isn't it? They are stronger than the bonds that are broken. Okay, if the bonds that are formed in a reaction are stronger than the bonds that are broken, more energy will be released. More energy will be released, and as a result of bond formation, than will be consumed, okay, in the bond breaking process. And here delta H will be what? Negative. Okay, here delta H will be what? Negative. So we will get what? This delta H negative when stronger bond form in the reaction. When there is formation of stronger bond in the reaction, then we will get what? Minus delta H. Okay, negative delta H. Okay, because more energy will be released. See here, more energy will be released, energy of bonds being formed. Okay, so here more energy will be released here, so this term will be larger than this term, isn't it? This right hand term will be larger than this left hand term. Okay, hence we will get what? Minus delta H value. Okay, so a reaction will be what? A reaction with a negative delta H is called an exothermic reaction. A reaction with negative delta H is called exothermic reaction. If the bonds that are formed are weaker than those that are broken, delta H will be what? Delta H0 will be what? Positive. And a reaction with positive delta H0 is called as endothermic reaction. Okay, a reaction with what? Positive delta H0, that is will be what? Endothermic reaction. So in endothermic reaction, energy of bonds being broken will be more than the energy of bonds being formed. That will be what? Endothermic reaction. Now see, we are having second terms in this slide, that is entropy. Okay, entropy. Entropy is defined as the degree of disorder, isn't it? Entropy. See, we know delta G0 is equal to delta H0 minus T delta S, isn't it? So entropy is defined as degree of disorder. It is a measure of freedom of motion of the system. It is a measure of what? Freedom of motion of the system. Restricting the freedom of motion. Restricting the freedom of motion of a molecule decreases the entropy. Okay, suppose if we have restricted the motion of molecule, okay, from going here to going there, okay, then that will be what? Decrease the entropy. For example, a reaction in which two molecules come together, okay, to form a single molecule. Okay, for example, a reaction in which two molecules come together to form a single molecule like this, A plus B gives C. The entropy in the product will be less than the entropy in the reactant. Okay, so here entropy of product will be less than the entropy of reactant, because two individual molecules can move in a ways that are not possible when the two molecules are bound together in a single molecule. Okay, so in the reactant these two molecules can go anywhere, okay, as they are two, okay, but their masses will combine, they will form a product, okay, and they will form a one single molecule that will have restriction in moving, okay, as compared to reactant. In such reaction, okay, in such reaction, that is A plus B gives C, delta S will be negative. In such reaction, delta S will be what? Negative. That is entropy will be what? Negative. Now see, in this last slide we can say, in a reaction in which single molecule, okay, single molecule is cleaved, like A is cleaved into what? B plus C. A is cleaved into what? B plus C into two separate molecules. The products will have greater freedom of motion. Okay, now in this case these product B and C will have greater freedom of motion than the reactant, and here delta S0 will be positive. Okay, here delta S0 will be what? Positive. Okay, so if delta H0 is positive and if delta H term is negative, then we will have negative entropy, sorry, negative free energy. We will have negative free energy. Okay, so for negative free energy we will want negative delta H and positive delta S. So an cyclic molecule and acyclic molecule has more entropy. See, an acyclic molecule has more entropy than similar cyclic molecules. See, for example, N-hexane and cyclohexane. N-hexane is what, a cyclic molecule, while cyclohexane is what, a cyclic molecule. So this is having more entropy. N-hexane is having more entropy because it is having more conformation, okay, than cyclohexane. Ring opening therefore gain in entropy, okay, ring opening reaction, okay, when there will be a what, ring opening reaction, that will gain entropy, gain in entropy, isn't it? And after ring closing there is what, lost in entropy. Okay, so ring opening reaction are always, most of the times, favors, while ring closing reaction are not favored, because there is lost in entropy, while ring opening, in the ring opening reaction there is what, gain in entropy. Okay, so for minus delta G we want minus delta H, isn't it, and we want positive delta S. Okay, then and then reaction will be favor. That means for a favorable reaction, which will be a favorable reaction, product is more stable than reactant, product should be more stable than reactant. Okay, if product are more stable than reactant, then what we'll have, we will have negative delta G, we will have negative delta G. So that negative delta G, when it will come, when we will have negative delta H, when negative delta H will come, when there will be what, more energy will be released. Okay, when there will be what, more energy will be released at the time of formation of bond, that is when stronger bond will form, there will be what, more release of energy. Okay, then we will get minus delta H, okay, minus delta H term. And when we will have this minus delta H term and positive delta S term, when we will get positive delta S, that is entropy term, when there will be what, free movement of product. Okay, when there will be what, no restriction of movement of products. Okay, then we will get what, positive entropy. So minus delta H and positive this entropy term, we will get what, minus delta G, isn't it? And that reaction will be what, favorable reaction. Okay, so we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Thank you.